This is just beautiful.
I bought that because when I was a little kid, there was a coal company right up the road from my lot, and they ran red and white 4200s with Detroits in them, and white and red 4300s with Cummins in them. So I had the opportunity to get a 40. I've had 4300s, but I never had a 4200. I had the opportunity to get it.
Is that the difference, the motor choice, or is there differences between the 42 and 3?
How short the hood is.
Okay.
That's 4200.
I see. I built a couple of these, the Ertel kits as a kid, the 4200 trucks. They've re-released, I know the Transtar 2, AMT has released that. The model truck guys are just eating them up. Put the interior on it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Springville? Is that it? Spring. No, it's where they have the race horses and stuff up there, the racetrack. It's like the oldest. Saratoga Springs.
Saratoga Springs.
Yep.
Okay, that's where this 42 came from. New York. This is a unicorn right here. So tell us about this truck.
It's a 1984 GMC Astro double bunk. That one there was special spec for the 1984 PPG race team, which was the Indy 500 team, and has a 8V92 Detroit with 13 speed. There were other double bunk Astros built, but none that I know of that had Detroit in it. They were Cat or Cummins.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Moving world.
And this is a runner. You had this at the reunion last year.
I did. The 1984 pace car that was part of this team was destroyed in the collapse of the Corvette Museum.
Okay.
They still have it out there in display, but it shares the same paint code, the same striping, stuff like that. So
And you're able to get that information, the paint code information and whatnot? I would imagine from PPG, yeah, they would love it. Have you been in contact? Look at that bumper. That bumper's killer.
I wanted to get the truck running. We put new injectors in it.
Right.
The turbo's weak. I have to put new turbo in it. I wanted to do everything else first and do the paint very last.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, never seen one of these. I've seen, like I said, a picture of one that's kind of close to this on the internet. Not the PPG, of course, but.
The only other picture I've seen of the 108-inch cab, they call them, was one on Google that was a dealer picture. It was cream with orange stripes.
Open this, or?
You sure can. And then another one I seen was United Van Lines.
Oh, okay.
And the grills were the more traditional looking. This has more of the Astro Aero grills to it.
Right. Wonder if that bumper's unique. I've never seen it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the special build. Of course, I hear stories about the truck and it costs this to build a bumper. That I don't have any of that documented, but I do know the history. I have pictures of this truck new. In fact, I think there's a blown up one in it, framed. It was quite the machine in 1984. So we had the opportunity to save it. We did.
Absolutely.
We're not doing it much justice right now, but we'll get back at it.
Yeah, you will.
A lot of irons in the fire.
You're a young guy.
Yeah, right.
This is the next one to go. You got some work to do on it. This one's already spoken for, right?
Yes, it is.
It's got the which Detroit was in this?
318.
The 318. Okay.
13 speed. It is going to be done for a friend of mine, which is out of Thomasville, North Carolina.
Wow.
So we're just in the beginning stages of getting their degrees down. And we're going to start doing the mechanical stuff it needs.
That's a beautiful sight.
And the cosmetics.
These just to me are so iconic with the that's like a 4-inch pipe, isn't it?
3.5.
3.5. See, with the butterfly flappers on them. You know, I remember as a kid, the guy across the street from me drove for Ohio Fast Freight.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of these. It was all blue, and I remember the World logo. but that had a 903 Cummins in it, VT 903, and because I know what they sound like because I had one in my white.
Gas job, yeah.
And I remember him coming out 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd jump up out of my bed and just watch him. He'd start that up, and those butter just be flapping, and that popcorn grinding VT 903 idling there. Yeah.
My dad had one of these. He had driver in it, and he used to run steel from Pittsburgh to Detroit. Same specs.
Yeah.
318, 13 speed.
There was that guy that was running that turquoise blue cracker box was running steel recently.
Yeah.
Was using that truck, but he's done, right? I think
He sold it.
He sold it. Okay.
Sold it.
Yeah.
I believe that it went back to the original owner, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the story on it.
That's just killer though that he worked it. I mean, you know, them pictures that he posted with a coil steel on the back of a cracker box backed into the steel, man, that's crazy. Here's the current project, restoration, light resto that Braden and the guys are doing. CF, Consolidated Freightways. Man, this is looking so nice. Somebody's going to snatch this one. Is this spoke for yet or no?
It is both.
Oh, it is. Okay, good.
25-year-old kid from Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's awesome. Keeping it going. The young guys. That's the industry's only hope.
1988, 34.6 cat, 7-speed. What told me about this truck is I shared it on a Consolidated Freightway page, and the guy surfaced because you can still see we leave the fleet number on there.
Okay.
This truck was 110-808, and the gentleman actually ran this truck out of Memphis, Tennessee, and we've since become Facebook friends, and he told me, hey, passenger side, the turn signal would short out, so I used to shove a toothpick under there to hold pressure against it.
So he knows. He ain't whistling Dixie. He knows his truck.
Because when I was prepping it, I pulled a piece of plastic out from underneath that turn signal where they had it propped in there, so he knows the truck.
Nice. It's cool to make that connection.
It is.
And especially for him, I'm sure, you know. That's what it's all about. You know, I got guys on the channel, and you guys that comment and say, man, love that, it took me back, that's what it's all about. That's why we're doing it. You have a business, obviously, but I mean, you love these trucks. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt, or you wouldn't be doing it. Making that connection, the glory days of trucking.
We have, since I started in business, of course, this is a little bit cheating on the numbers with, we had some years where we were exporting, but out of our small operation, we've had pretty close, I imagine somewhere around 1,000 trucks.
Wow, nice.
Go through our hands.
Yeah, and you had trucks going overseas for a while, you were saying, and that was all over.
Several countries throughout the continent of Africa, a couple countries in Asia, South America, and Central America.
Now, what do they do when they need parts? They call you and say, hey.
You know, they probably have more trucks over there now,
Yeah.
the older stuff, than what we have here, unfortunately. I know in the vintage world, a lot of people don't like to see that, but at the time it was business, and I was paying bills,
Absolutely,
building a business, and feeding my family. But also, because of those days, we got ourselves in a position where we can kind of do this and redo some of them now.
Right, can I open this, or is it taped anywhere? Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Those are stationary. Okay. Now this didn't have an air starter.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay. They just didn't put them in the cavities.
The tank's right on the other side of the frame.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, you know what these are.
Oh yes. They needed those too.
The Rocky Mountains.
Well, I love that one of the cab over that's got the pusher bar that they used on it to push them guys over the mountain.
When we bring these trucks back, you may see marker writing or something inside of a cab.
Mm-hmm.
We leave that kind of stuff in there.
Right.
It's part of the story of the truck.
Excellent. Well, let's take a look at that driver's side real quick. Might as well.
Very basic.
Yeah.
Not even a fuel needle.
Yeah, there's also the young guy on YouTube. I've seen his videos. He's got the slab cab Freightliner, and that's what he was remarking about, how few gauges there are.
But this stuff will all stay.
Right.
That's all celebrates what
Good
the truck
stuff.
is.
Yep. Back out here at Braden Tucker's. We're going to look at some more equipment real quick here. This is a vintage truck lover's haven or heaven, whatever you want to say. Look at this line of Louisvilles. Sweet. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of this great vintage iron today as much as I did, and meeting Braden and sitting down and yakking with him and learning the history of his operation here. So until next time, keep the hammer down but safe and sound.